So I'm back at the Crab Shed in Salcombe with head chef Nick for some secrets in the ultimate classic crab linguine. It's such a classic dish, and this is just the ultimate way to make it. So thank you, Nick, for having us in and to share it. What are we going to start with?
Okay, so we're starting to make our sauce. So we use our homemade crab bisque.
Okay, so the homemade crab bisque, obviously we may not be making that at home. Can we use like a lobster bisque or something that we could buy?
Yes, anything that's got an intense crab, lobster, even fish flavour.
Fishy
We
flavour,
make
okay.
it, and we make it really orange, so it gives a nice colour to the...
It is an amazing
Yeah,
colour, that is just extraordinary, isn't it? So that's a bisque made from...
So we start with a stock, which is made of the crab shells and lots of different spices, so star anise, black pepper,
Nice.
bay leaf, all that, and then just let that infuse.
Yeah.
And then we use a tomato base with lots of fennel and onions and celery and celeriac, and then you cook it like a soup.
Okay, so it's basically crab. That's kind of
the
the base,
and
is
then lots
it?
of brown.
Do you add
brown,
any other bits of seafood into that as
brown
well?
crab meat, and we do smoked mackerel.
Wow.
So it gives it a really just a
Secret
smokiness.
ingredient.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
just makes it quite intense, and prawns as well.
Okay, and then you just sort of cook that up,
Yeah,
so
cook
that
that up and-
really infuse those
And you want,
flavours.
that's what we make the crab stock. That puts all the flavour into it, and then we blend it all up, and that's what gives it the thickness and the colour.
And you'd serve that as a soup?
Yes,
then
on
here
the
with
menu
you?
you can have it as the soup
Okay,
as well.
otherwise it goes into the linguine?
Yeah, we use it. Yeah, 'cause it's quite versatile because it's very flavoursome. So.
Sounds good. So that goes in first of all, does
Yeah,
it?
so we're going to put that in. That's the base of the sauce,
Mhm.
and we're going to go with some chilli. Obviously, if you're making it yourself, you can put as little and as much as you want. And this
Yeah,
is-
I'm not a massive fan on chili.
No, we try to cater to that, so we put some sugar, just a little bit of sugar.
Okay, to take the hotness out.
It just takes the hotness out, and you can always try it.
Yeah.
And then, so if it is a very spicy chili, which you can get, all chilies vary.
Yeah.
You
But actually a little bit of chili with crab,
Yeah, and this has got
it does work, doesn't it?
and this has got lemongrass in as well, which is really fragrant, and ginger, so it kind of all balances out, and it makes it not too.
Lemongrass, ginger, chili, sugar.
And just bring it together with a bit of olive oil.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of that.
And this is one of the most popular dishes on your menu, isn't it?
Yeah, so last year we sold 2,000.
2,000 crab linguine.
Yeah, in not
in
even
this
6
one,
months.
one little place.
And we were closed for half a year. so
That's
just saying,
a lot.
yeah. And then this is just garlic butter.
Garlic butter, okay.
So butter, we make a garlic puree with olive oil and lemon juice, parsley, and white pepper. And just blend that all together, so it's there to use as.
Right, so you make that whole sauce, that
Yes,
all sort of mixing up together.
Yes,
then.
it's all 3 different elements that we've made ourselves beforehand,
Yeah.
and then it's going to come together to make the sauce. And then the tomatoes.
Those are your little sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes, yeah, which they just give a burst of flavour, and when you're eating the linguine through it, you get that big pop.
Nice bit of texture
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. So we're going to let that heat up.
Okay. And then when it comes to the crab, are you using a mix of the white and the brown meat?
The same mix, yes. The 3 to 1.
3 parts white, 1 part brown.
Yes,
Okay.
and that again, it just makes it more intense.
And the crab is literally coming. You can't see behind us, but we're literally on the sea.
Yeah.
So that is coming
The crab
from
comes-
the fishermen daily.
Every day into the factory, and there's a picking process.
Yeah.
And eventually they pick it, and it comes into us, and we serve it.
You can't beat it.
No, it can't get any fresher.
It does not get any fresher.
No, definitely not.
That's great to see all those flavours mixing together.
So we're just waiting for it to come together.
And then the other ingredients you've got things like baby spinach. So
Yep.
those really tiny baby spinach leaves that don't really take any cooking at all.
No, you don't want them to wilt too much. You want
No.
You don't want to lose the texture of it. You don't want it to go mushy, and so all the other ingredients will just go in last minute
Okay.
and just bring them together. And, yeah.
So what's the next one in?
So the next one we're going to go with is what's that done? That's done now. We will go with spring onion and the coriander.
Okay, spring onion and coriander. Could I use parsley? Because I'm not a massive fan of coriander.
You could do it. Parsley just isn't as strong. Yeah.
Okay.
So parsley, any soft herb really. You
Do you know it's a genetic thing?
Really?
Yeah, it's a genetic thing. You either love coriander or you hate
Yeah,
coriander.
you do hear a lot of people who don't like coriander. And I just thought it was just a
I
coincidence.
can't help it, it's my genes.
Yeah, so the coriander just goes well with all the chilli, the lemongrass, and the lime, which we'll be putting as well. So that's
goodness.
it's all that like.
We will pop all the details down in the link below, by the way, so there's a lot to take in. That's why it's such a classic dish.
And then we're going to go for the spinach and crab. Now,
The spinach and crab. And that's going to be enough for what? Serve one,
this
two?
will serve one
Generous helping, I would say.
Yeah, generous helping, and the sauce maybe could stretch to, if you're doing it at home. You could stretch to two people, but we tried to make for how many we're cooking for. So this is if you're cooking for one.
The great thing is once you've got all those bits set up, it's actually very quick to to put it all together.
So if you were just to make one linguine from scratch, it would take you quite a while.
Yeah, but if you've got all your bits, so you could prep it before if you were doing it as a supper dish for friends. You know, you could then just quickly put it together.
And then that's.
So now the pasta. So the pasta, this is a kind of a chef trick, isn't it? Because you will part cook pasta in a restaurant, won't you? So that you then can bring it back to the boil, do you, or just cook it through really quickly?
You cook it through like you would at home.
Yeah.
Just not as much. Cool it down. Put some oil through it so it doesn't stick together. And then just the next ready to use whenever. And then so it takes minutes to
heat through. But did you know that that's actually a really good health trick?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because what happens is when you cook pasta and you cool it and put it in the fridge, it changes the structure slightly, so you get more resistant starch, and that is beneficial to our good gut bugs. So it's better for your microbiome.
So we've been doing people a lot of good then.
Totally, and it has less of a glycemic index as well. It's also, if you're rinsing it, you get rid of a bit of the gluten. So totally. You need to put that on your menu. This is a real
we sell it as that.
added benefit.
We're just going to finish with the linguine, and then they're very healthy linguine.
Yeah, a massively healthy linguine, and you've got all the nutrients there coming from your tomatoes and the red peppers. You've even got the astaxanthins from the crab, which is something that we're talking about a lot at the moment. So unbelievably good for you. And the smell, I wish you could have smell-o-vision as well as television, because it's just so good. Yeah, I can imagine.
And then you just want to finish, you would taste it, check the seasoning if it's okay, and then you want to finish with some lime.
Okay, squeeze a lime over the top.
And then that is good to go.
Fantastic, and you can see, as you go, when you get your prep right, it's minutes, isn't it? Super quick.
Yeah, and that's what you want, especially with you don't want it to be stressing.
No, you don't want to be stressing.
And you can add some cream.
Can you?
Yeah, if you like it a little bit subtler and not so intense, as say the chili, or it just lightens it up.
I think that looks
great
on its
got
own.
Perfect
actually.
colour, and then we can plate it up. As it's linguine, you just want to get it straight in.
Yep.
Pile it up high.
Pile it up high, that's what we like. What are you garnishing with?
They're just pea shoots. They just look pretty.
And actually pea shoots and crab work really well together.
Yeah, they do.
They're quite sweet.
They give a nice crunch as well. They do add a texture compared to some, and a lime wedge as well.
And a lime.
Just to serve, so then if people want a bit more.
Beautiful. Should we bring that up here? Look at that. That is one epic dish. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.